Good morning, everyone, and welcome to our BSc Information Technology information session. My name is Ravi Raghunath, and I'll be your host to guide you through the information session. Today, we're going to look at several things, all right? And some of the things we will cover in today's session will include, so my name is Ravi Raghunath, as I said, and today we will look at why study a BSc Information Technology. For many times we've had these sessions and we ask students about studying. Many times students see studying as a cost rather than an investment. And we're going to look today at why the BSc should be seen as an investment rather than simply a cost. And not just the BSc, your studies should be seen as an investment in yourself rather than necessarily a cost only. We look at why study the BSc Information Technology, why study with the University of Bedfordshire, why even study at CTS College. They are the providers as well. Then we look at now, so once you've gotten past those, what are the features of the BSc program? What would I learn if I enroll in this program? And how can I fit this into my busy lifestyle? What support will CTS provide for me? And where will I graduate? Will it be in England? Will it be in Trinidad? Am I eligible to study at all? Would I qualify? And then how much will this cost? And then finally, when can I start? So those are some of the things to answer, plus any other questions you may have regarding the session as well. Okay, so why study the BSc? So let's take a minute to find out from you guys. So there aren't much of you, there are 14 of us. Why are you guys studying the BSc? Anyone want to share why you choose to study? Why are you choosing to study, first of all, whether it's the BSc or any other program, right? Can you share with me?
Yes.
Right ahead, Candice, Cassandra.
Yes, I am interested in IT because we have reached a stage now where everything is computer. So seeing that it's a necessity right now, I want to go forward in my
Career in IT.
yes, career in IT.
May I ask, are you switching careers, or is it a switch in career then? That's why you're looking at studying in order to make that change in career?
Uh
Because you're not currently.
yes and no, because it gives me the opportunity to switch in career,
Right.
but I can't say right now what um would be my intentions after my completion. You know, I'm gonna look at the opportunities I get
Very good.
and
But in
see
order
if it's
to have
beneficial.
those opportunities, you need to undertake the studies to get those opportunities, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Not a problem. Would anyone else like to share as well in terms of why they're studying the program? Not necessarily this program, but why study and why maybe IT?
Sure.
Sure, Kyle?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I could ask. Okay, Kyle,
I've always had uh, I've always had an interest in IT, and I've went like Venezuela, SBCS and stuff like that, but I never got the chance to complete it due to problems at home and stuff like that. And seeing that it have this whole corona stuff going on wrong now, I think like this is the time that everyone should take advantage of the IT field in Trinidad, and not only in Trinidad, globally.
Yep.
And also to branch off and other stuff in IT, I think the basics would be that you need the BSc if you want to go into like software development and stuff like that. Always good to have that foundation, that knowledge.
Excellent. So it provides a foundation for your career in IT, right? I think Alicia, you were going to say something, or Janelle?
Yeah, morning everybody. What I wanted to say is that I was always fascinated about IT since in school, but due to finances, I didn't get to finish it now. But as now as I'm doing computer literacy, I'm now starting back the career actually. So it's like a step forward for me now because I work in security and I trying to see what I good at now, trying to get more knowledge about the computer field.
No problem.
Um,
Information session
huh?
is, in that
But
regard, the information session
I
is,
wanted to ask you something. This is a 2-year program.
The program can be completed in 2 years, certainly, yes. And I'll explain how it can be done in 2 years as we go through the program as well.
And what qualifications you ought to have for the computer, the information technology? It's a degree, right? A bachelor's
It's a bachelor
degree.
degree, yes. And the good thing is that there are three, well, there's year 1, year 2, year 3, but the university also introduced a bridging program. So now anyone can start in the program. And what we'll do today as we go through the slides, one of the things I'll talk about would be the entry requirements. So that will be covered as we go through the slides as well. So I'll answer those in the appropriate section within the presentation, but it will be covered, right?
No, because I see it have level 3 and 4 is what level? 5, 6 and 4, 5, 6 or something?
Level 4 is year 1, level 5 is year 2, and level 6
So
is
what about the first 3 levels? That is like in what that is?
usually in a degree. A degree is post-secondary, right? And usually you start from level 4. Level 3 is more like CXE level, right? Or secondary school, between secondary school A level sort of thing. That's why. So to the degree,
Oh,
yeah,
so level 1 and 2 is like introduction to these.
Yes.
well, the university itself, I don't think they offer level 1 and level 2 courses. What happens is that in the UK, the qualification body there, what they simply did was instead of just giving general names to qualification, right? So instead of calling it certificate, diploma, etc., what they also created was a leveling system so that every qualification could be pegged to a particular level. So a bachelor's degree is a level 6 qualification, a master's might be level 7, like that sort of thing. So when you start a bachelor's degree, you are doing a level 6 qualification, but the year 1 is equivalent to level 4 in the UK structure, year 2 is equivalent to the level 5, and the year 3 is equivalent to level 6. So that's why. So it's not that you're starting from level 1, your secondary qualification, etc., would have probably put you past level 1 and 2, right?
Okay, no problem.
All right, then, cool. All right, any other questions? All right, Galaxy A70. Would you mind renaming? Also, if it's okay with you guys, all right, just to reiterate, if you could kindly indicate when your name and email address, private message me those, please, right? It's in the chat. If you could private message me your name and email address, please, right? And so that I can ensure to send you the presentation after. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to cut across you. How long is this introduction for?
This session is going to be an hour, right?
Okay.
All right, cool. All right, well, let's get started with the rest then, right? If there's anyone else want to speak, I'll allow you, otherwise we'll move ahead. I'm seeing a hand raised for Galaxy A70. I don't know if there's a particular question you wanted to ask as well. All right. No problem. In the meantime, don't forget to send me your name and email address as well. Your name and email address, private message me please on the chat, right? Okay, so based on surveys we've done with persons in the past, here are some of the reasons why persons have indicated that they wanted to study. So these have been the most popular reasons. So if you did as survey says, right, and Steve Harvey was doing it, number 1 would have been for promotion. Number 2 would have been for career change, right? Increase in salary, often accompanied by promotion, right? Start or grow a business. Some of the other reasons people have studied is for personal achievement. You always wanted to achieve this, right? Of course, practical experience in IT as well as enhancing your employability. So those are some of the reasons people have given as well for why they want to study and why study a BSc in IT. Now, in terms of the IT as an investment, I want to do a small scenario with you guys, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to look at employability and in terms of why you should consider IT as an investment rather than a cost. Now, let's suppose you've done your secondary qualification and you've another person, so person A did their secondary qualification, person B did their bachelor's degree. And let's use the OJT. You're familiar with the on-the-job training, right? As an OJT, a person with CXE would get paid $3,025 per month. However, a person with a bachelor's degree will get $7,562.50 per month. Now, you may just see it as 2 different salaries, but you may not be paying attention to some other stuff as well. And I want to take you through a journey. Let's suppose that you remain at these salaries for the rest of your life. Would you imagine how much more you would have earned over a lifetime with a bachelor's degree versus CSEC? Well, in just 1 month, the difference in salary between a bachelor's holder and a CXC holder with OJT, under OJT, is over 4,500 more per month. Your salary is more than double with as a bachelor's holder versus versus a secondary school holder under the OJT program. That's 4,500 1 month. In 1 year, imagine what that will be, right? You multiply that by 12. So in 1 year, you'll be earning over $54,000 more. What I'm merely saying is that in 1 year, you would have already passed the difference in earning would have already paid off for the cost of the degree, right? So the cost of the degree already covered in 1 year as an OJT. So that's why I'm saying to you, it's an investment. It will pay off. It will cost you, but it pays off. And after 1 year, but you're not going to work for 1 year and stop, right? Normally, most people work for like 45 years. Some people work even more, right? So therefore, if I put that over your work career, just use 40 years only. If you work for over 40 years, multiply that by 40 years, that's over $2 million more. And that's assuming your salary stays fixed. But we know that in most cases, a person with a degree, the rate at which their salary increases is far greater than the rate at which someone with CXC would increase, right? So this is just a small end of the stick. Ideally, it should be much larger. Imagine not just you, but how much your children and your children's children and future generations could benefit from this as well, right? So, you know, it is worthwhile considering the bachelor's as an investment rather than simply a cost. Now, what about the University of Bedfordshire? The truth is, many people don't know about the University of Bedfordshire because there's no team in the English Premiership League with Bedfordshire, right? If I told you Liverpool or Manchester, etc., you'll be more familiar. Or London, right? Not because London in Premier League, but because London is a popular city. However, the University of Bedfordshire actually dates back. They started qualifications, offering qualifications over 100 years ago, right? Currently they have more than 20,000 students from over 120 countries enrolled in their programs. They have 5 campuses alone in the UK, but because of the internet and how the internet has flattened the world, they have students now all across the globe, right? So they have partners in China, Middle East, Europe, Southeast Asia, and a couple of years ago, they started off in Trinidad and Tobago. So in the Caribbean, they have partners, 3 partners in Trinidad, 1 in Guyana, and I think there's going to be 1 soon in St. Lucia, and they're moving on to other countries in Jamaica as well soon, right? So they are basically partnering with many schools across the Caribbean as well. They ranked in the top 6% of universities in the world, and they were the winner of the Queen's University or Queen's Anniversary Prize in 2013. And that's a huge, huge award for the university as well. They ranked in several different areas, but to be quite honest, between me and you, I won't preach ranking as much because ranking is one aspect, but really when you're going to consider degree, there are so many factors to consider. And some of those factors are what we're going to cover in today's session. For example, you need to figure out how long will it take to get my degree, because I don't want it, many students we've interviewed don't want to take very long to complete their degree. They want to complete their degree in the shortest time possible, right? Apart from that, they don't have much time available, so they want to get their degree. They don't want to do much classes. They want maybe 1 day of class a week if they could as well. The fewer days of classes, the better, because they have their kids and other stuff to look after as well. They have their jobs, etc. Right? So apart from that, they want a program that is practical, not just a qualification they want, but they want a program that will give them practical skills that they could take back to the workplace, that they could use to gain employment. And also too, they want to know that, look, when I'm doing this program, look, I don't have all the required skills, but I want a lot of support because I might be a slow learner, all right? My academic background has not been sterling. I've had a bit of a checkered academic background and I need a lot of support. Will you guys be willing to provide me with lots of support? So when I have those assignments, would I get the required help, etc.? I don't want somebody to do my assignment, but I need help to guide and explain beyond the class. Would you be willing to do that? And that is what some of the things students may be looking for, right? Of course, some of those may not matter to you. So you have to figure out what is important to you. And of course, cost might be crucial to you as well. So you determine what factors are critical to you, and those will help you in terms of choosing your program. Naturally, the program you choose must be accredited as well, right? So a bit about CTS College. We've been offering qualifications over 20 years as well. We work with a range of partners. We've partners with Australian Institute of Business, so they're from Australia, right, to offer their MBA program. And now we're working with Bedfordshire for their MBA program and their BSc IT. We also work with University of Hertfordshire as well to deliver their business qualification. We also work with ABE for business qualification as well as SIPS for procurement and supply qualification. And we offer a range of short courses as well. We have over 40 short courses, and we recently started our primary school. So we have a primary and we have a private secondary as well. So there's a range of programs that we offer as well to the public. But one of the things for CTS College is really our support. For me, as the owner of CTS College, I value education, and the support for our students is critical. And stemming from that, these are some of the things CTS College has won over the last few years as well. It's, if you want to call it, our bragging page, right? But it's I'm being very humble in our bragging at the same time. We've won over 91 AB World Prizes, right, since 2007. That's a huge accomplishment. A World Prize is given to the student with the highest mark in the paper. Now, understand that the AB qualification is delivered in over 30-something different countries and over close to over 200 schools across the globe, right? So when one of our students win an award, that's a huge accomplishment because they're competing with people all across the world. And we've won 91 World Prizes. In Trinidad, we've won more World Prizes in the last 5 years than any other school, with the exception of 1 year, right? So we're doing really well with it. Our students have done an amazing job. Our teachers have done really well in supporting our students also. We also offer programs with the University of Hertfordshire, and we've won 45 university awards with Hertfordshire. That's for the top students in the program. So 45 awards there, more than any other schools offering the University of Hertfordshire program. So that's a record as well there. We've won awards with ABME as well as ACTT. Now the ACTT award might be important here, and I'll tell you why. In 2011, the Accreditation Council started something called the QUIT Awards. QUIT, it's Quality in Tertiary Education. And there are 3 award categories. One for student support services, one for excellence in quality management system, and another for excellence in teaching and learning. Now, in each category, they only gave one. Each of these categories, there were 3 winners, right? In the last year, they only had 1 winner in the category. However, CTS College has won more awards than any other school in the country. We've won 11 ACTT awards, and we're competing against all the other schools in the country. We've won 6 for student support services, and that's the most by any school. We've won 3 for quality management system and 2 for excellence in teaching and learning. And that speaks well, because I think because of that student support, we've won all those world prizes as well, because our student support, if you talk to many of our students, is really what differentiates us from our competition, right? So in terms of a BSc program, CTS College has been offering the BSc IT for several years. In fact, over 14 years experience of offering the BSc programs, right? We started with the BSc from the University of Hertfordshire, and now we're doing with the BSc with the University of Bedfordshire. So we have over 14 years delivering the program. The pass rate is over 85%. There have been over 2,000 applicants, over 1,700 students graduating, with more than 483 of them getting first class honors. So that's a wonderful accomplishment, okay? Now, some features of the program, and these are the things that would resonate better for you, because you have to make a choice about your programs. And what do you choose? What are some of the factors you choose when deciding which program to select, right? So in terms of this BSc program, it's fully accredited, and accreditation is important, especially if you're looking at gaining employment, if you're looking at traveling abroad and seeking to be employed abroad as well. You may want something that is internationally recognized, right? So that's the first one. So it's fully accredited. The program is globally accessible. And what that means is that you can access this program from anywhere in the world. Right now, the program is online, right? So all our classes are online. So therefore, if you were in a different country, you would have same access as though you were in Trinidad, because there's no need to physically be at the college for a class. So everything is online. The university also has a learning management system that you can access online. All our classes are online as well, so it's globally accessible. It's also a practical bachelor's, and we'll talk about that later on. All the assignments are very much about solving problems, real life problems as well. It's accelerated in that you could complete the final year. If you depend, you could start at different levels, right? There's the bridging program, there's level 4, which is year 1, level 5, year 2, and level 6, year 3. You could do a direct entry to the different level based on your previous qualification. So some of you may start directly in the final year. And the good thing is each level could be completed in as little as 8 months. So if you're starting in the final year, in 8 months, you could complete your degree. If you're starting in year 2, right, you could complete it in 16 months, which is 1 year and 4 months. If you're starting in year 1, you could complete it in 2 years, right? And if you're starting at the bridging program, you will complete it in 2 years, 4 months, right? So let's start with the first one. It's fully accredited. In the UK, the Quality Assurance Agency is the body that has been established, right, to basically quality assure all qualifications, and QA advises the government on granting degree awarding powers as well to different programs. So you cannot call yourself a university. That has to be granted upon you, and you have to go through a process. And the University of Bedfordshire is quality assured by QAA. Also, they are recognized by ACTT locally as well, which is really important for you as well. Okay. Apart from that, if you were to travel to the US, Canada, etc., graduates from their program are accepted in those different countries. As part of their quality assurance, I want you to know that the following: all our marketing and promotion must be approved by the university. All our admissions are approved by the university. CTS College cannot approve you for the program, the university does. We can guide you, we can assist you with your application, but we send it to the university and they are the ones who accept you, right? And everyone is accepted. The question is, where are you accepted? Is it accepted for bridging, year 1, year 2, etc.? All our lecturers are approved by the university. All our teaching materials are approved by the university. All assessments are set and marked by the university. The university conducts annual audits as well as they do continuous review and feedback as well. As indicated earlier, the program is globally accessible. There are over 20,000 students from over 120 different countries enrolled in this program, and there are partners all across the world, including Trinidad. You will have access to an online learning environment called Brio, which is available 24/7 at your convenience. All your lecture notes are over there. All your assignments are submitted there as well on Brio, right? Apart from that too, CTS College will also have access to a shared drive where you have access to all the materials, all the classes are recorded and the videos are made available to you on that shared drive as well. The course is practical. You will be solving real life IT challenges. So it's really hands-on. So starting from the bridging program all the way to the final year, you are solving problems. Some of them may be design related where you're designing a solution. Some of them is actually programming where you build a solution where you actually code, right? Code to solve a problem as well, right? So the range of problems you solve varies. It's not there is programming in every year, right? But also you'll be learning other stuff as well. You'll be learning in design, you'll be learning networking, you'll be learning about databases as well, right? So you're prepared in many different areas also within the program. So it's really practical because a lot of times you are solving issues, solving case studies, solving organizational challenges as well. So you're developing practical skills. The program is also accelerated, right? In that the bridging program can be done in as little as 4 months, right? 1 semester. Each level, right, consists of 4 units. So level 1, year 1 consists of four subjects. Year 2, which is level 5, sorry, consists of 4 subjects, and level 6, year 3 consists of 4 subjects. Now, you're doing 2 subjects per semester in level 4, level 5, level 6. So in 1 semester, you do 2 subjects. In the next semester, you do the other 2. So in 2 semesters, you're finishing with a level. And as a result, in 8 months, you're finishing level 4. 8 months, you're finishing level 5. 8 months, you're finishing level 6. That's 24 months, you finish the complete program. Also too, as I said, you could start at level 5, directly at level 5 or level 6 based on the entry requirements, which we'll talk about a bit later. So the program is accelerated. Now, what makes it accelerated? Because this same program takes 3 years in the UK. Why is it that CTS College is able to do this program in 2 years versus 3 years? So here's why. In the UK, students who are studying on campus, many of them travel far to get to the university. They stay on campus. Some of them are from different countries who have traveled to the UK to study. So what happens is that for most of those students, after they've completed their 2 semesters, the 3rd semester, they tend to go home to their families, etc. So as a result, what you have is that the 3rd semester is basically students on a break because they travel back to their home, to their families, etc. In Trinidad, that's not really commonly the case. Each of you will be studying from home in most cases, right? And therefore, you don't need a break, therefore, to go and visit your family, that sort of thing. So what we've asked the universities that, look, our situation, Trinidad is a much smaller country. So after students spend 8 months to complete level 4 or level 5, let's start the next level right away. Let's not go on a break, right? And because of that, what the university did, they approved that arrangement, and therefore now after 8 months you finish your level, you go on to the next level. Of course, if at any time you want to take a break, you can as well. So you could inject a break after completing a level if you wish as well, okay? Of course, in that case, the program will take a bit longer too. So therefore, you could complete the program in 2 years starting from level 4. We'll talk about why this program is an affordable investment as well. So we'll get into pricing later on, but please note as well, apart from offering one of the most affordable BSc in Trinidad, we also partner with institutions such as GMMB to assist students in obtaining financing for their program as well, right? So GMMB has a loan that you could be qualified for within 2 days or so, you could qualify for the loan, right? And the process can be done remotely. Now, how is this program structured? In terms of the program, it's made up of level 4, which is year 1, which has 4 subjects. It's made up of level 5, which is year 2, which also has 4 subjects, and level 6, which is year 3, also made up of 4 subjects. Now, I'm going to look at the entry requirements for each. So when I cover it here, I wouldn't go through it again later on where we have another slide for entry requirements. The rule is the following. If you have any work experience, it doesn't matter what field, it does not need to be IT. Once you have any work experience, ideally, if you have 3 or more years of any work experience, you could start at level 4. If you did CAPE or your levels, you could start at level 4. If you have, if you did IT certifications as well, and you have some work experience, you could start at level 4. If you've completed level 4, you could go on to level 5. However, other persons could start directly in level 5. Now, how can you start directly in level 5? If you have 2 or more years IT work experience and you have some IT certifications, then you could start at level 5. If you have IT work experience and you have maybe a higher qualification, right? Not in IT, it could be in any other area, and you have IT experience, then you could likely start at level 5. If you have an associate degree in IT or a diploma from UTT or HND from the BTech HND or any other IT qualification that equivalent to an associate degree or higher diploma, then you can start directly in level 6, which is the final year, right? Alternatively, if you have 6 or more years IT work experience and you have some IT certifications, you should be allowed to start directly in level 6. So the question now becomes, who should start the bridging program? Well, the bridging program, therefore, is really for persons who straight out of CSEC. Let's say you wrote CXC and you don't even have results, because we got, so far have 5 students who wrote CXC, haven't gotten results as yet, and they are starting the bridging program, right? So you can start the bridging program. If you just wrote CXC, whether you got results or you don't have results, you can start. If you do have CXC results and you don't have any work experience, right? So you've never worked. So let's say you're about 18 years or so, wrote CXC, no work experience. Ideally, start at the bridging program, which is just 1 subject you're doing over a 4-month period, right? So the bridging program, therefore, becomes ideal for anyone who wouldn't qualify for level 4, level 5, level 6 entry, right? So in that regard, everyone is going to be accepted at some point. You will not be rejected at all. The only thing is you may not get accepted to start a specific level. You say, let's say you only have 2 years work experience and you decide you want to apply for level 6. ideally the university would not accept you for level 6, but instead they will send you an offer letter offering you a space maybe in level 4, level 5, depending on the case, right? So they will look at your qualifications and stuff and include it. Now, what if I started another qualification and I didn't finish it? Let's say I started my degree or associate degree and I dropped out after a few modules. Please include it in your application, because if you have done any tertiary qualification in IT, even though it was incomplete, the fact that you would have done it, kindly include your resume as well. Kindly include a transcript of it so that it would count as well. It will show that you do have some tertiary qualification. A lot of time people hide those incomplete qualification from the application, and honestly, it works to your disadvantage. I would encourage you, if you've started a course and passed 1 or 2 modules, it doesn't matter if you fail a lot. Once you have some passes, it can be helpful as well in getting you to start at the level you really want to, right? Okay, so what would I learn? In terms of learning, year 1 is typically more introductory. So you'll be introduced to IT technology. So you learn more about like how computers work, how computers are built. You learn about databases. You learn about networking. You'll have access to Cisco Academy. And at the end, if you pass that unit, you'll also get a certificate from Cisco Academy as well. You learn SQL, you'll learn about software applications and hardware installation, configuring and maintaining. You'll work with Microsoft Access. You will learn programming languages, including Java as well as Python. And those are, Python in particular is one of the growing languages as well. So that's so cool because you're getting relevant experience. In year 2, you would learn Oracle. You'd also learn about configuring hardware and software, developing solutions as well, designing interfaces also, and some more programming. And in year 6, you would also learn further design, project management, as well as you'll have to build for your thesis, you'll be developing a web application. What we're doing this year is we're developing an e-commerce solution. So those are some of the things you'll be learning as you go through the program. So these are the different units. Now, I want to make a special note here regarding the units, right? With the University of Bedfordshire, notice there are just a few units only. There are 4 units. But I want to share with you, even though the number of units are few, what you learn is a lot. So for example, if you're doing computer system structure, this course is made up of like 2 subjects. One subject is networking, is an entire networking subject, and another subject is with database normalization, etc. So each subject you'll find is like 2 subjects merged into one. So that's why they have fewer subjects. But the content is very broad and diverse. So therefore, when you look at it, you're covering a broad range of areas. So a subject is not like a specialist subject. It covers multiple areas. Now, one of the advantages of doing fewer subjects is that it costs you less because you pay per subject. So the fewer subjects, the lower your fees. And that's what the university deliberately did to lower students' fees as well. They reduce the number of subjects, but the content is still very broad and diverse so that you cover a lot of different areas. Now, how can I fit this into my busy lifestyle? I mean, for some of you, I'm working, I'm a mother, I have kids, I have to look after their schoolwork, they're in school as well, and I have to look after all of those things, but I need to get qualified. How can I fit this into my busy lifestyle? Or you're a father, you're a single parent as well, and you're busy, you have to you go to work, you work long hours as well, and yet you still need to upgrade yourself because you want to take advantage of opportunities on your job. How can I fit this into my busy lifestyle? So here's what we did. We recognize the pleas of our students. We've learned, we've listened, many times we do surveys as well to try to understand the needs of our student. And we work with the university in structuring the program around your needs. So based on that, right, first of all, we have 3 intake periods, February, June, October. Now, truly the October intake sometimes starts in September, as in this year. Classes will start September 26th, but it's called the October intake. Sometimes the classes may be the first week in October, or sometimes it's the last week in September, right? So every 4 months, there's a next starting period. So if you miss one intake, the next intake is just a couple months away, well, 4 months away, right? So there are 3 intake periods for the year. In terms of your classes now, so let's say you're starting, how it works out. Each subject, remember, you're only doing 2 subjects at a time, except if you're in the bridging program, you'll be doing 1 subject. So it's each subject, you have a 2-hour class for the week. So if you're doing the bridging program, all you need is 2 hours for the week for a class. Classes are normally on Saturdays with few exceptions, right? If you're doing level 4 or level 5 or level 6, you'll have 2 classes on a Saturday, each 2 hours. That's 4 hours of classes for the week. Now, please note the following. because we are big on support, if you have an assignment coming up, right, we would work with you. Like if the assignment says, okay, if it's a, let's say you have a group assignment or whether it's an individual assignment, we will card additional sessions to prepare you for it. These are called tutorial sessions, which are really more focused on getting the assignment done, working with you, reviewing your work, reviewing your draft. At the end is your work. We don't do the work for you, but we guide you, we review your work, we make suggestions so how it can be improved and that sort of thing, right? So all of that is being done. So that's where the support comes in. So although typically the teaching timetable will have a 2-hour class for the week, when as you get closer to an assignment, so let's say, for example, we have students who have an assignment due on Wednesday. So what we did was, although we finished all the teaching, we decided, look, we have a tutorial session for them today and another revision session for them again tomorrow in preparation for that assessment on Wednesday. All of these are really just to help you, and we are doing like past questions, etc., right, to prepare students for the assessment. Cool. So you would have some additional sessions, but we will card those, right, but it's to help you to prepare for your assignment. We've already, the Saturday classes is to teach and complete content, etc., right? At the end of every unit, you'll normally have like a 2-week break or so between one semester and the other. This is an example of a timetable. If you look at this timetable, you'll see that on Saturday for the bridging program, there's one class on Saturday for the bridging program. So the first one here is the bridging program. Then level 4 is the second row. So this one here is the bridging, this level 4. My apologies. So the first row is the bridging program. So there's one class, 8 to 10 on a Saturday. The second row is for level 4. So you have classes on Saturday, 8 to 10 and 10:15 to 12:15. These are classes on a Saturday. If you're doing level 5, you have 2 subjects on a Saturday, right? From 10:15 to 12:15 and 12:45 to 2:45. And then if you're doing level 6, only doing 2 subjects on level 6, right? So what we've done, I have 2 on a Saturday from 8 to 10 and from 10:30 to 12:30. So those are the 2 that you're doing, right? And apart from that, you have what we've also done. Students in the final year have to do your undergraduate project, right? So what we've done for the undergraduate project, we recognize that programming might be a challenge for some students, particularly those coming directly into the final year. So if you're enrolling directly in the final year, so what I've done this year is to allow students, normally you undertake the undergraduate project in your final semester. So what we're doing, I've scheduled it so that students who are in their first semester could do the programming for the undergraduate project while they're in their first semester. So basically, you get 2 semesters of doing the same programming, because in that course, you have to build an application. And because some students may not be programming savvy, what I've done is, in order to facilitate them doing the programming part of it for their project, so although in the second project, you have to do the course, what I've done is, in the first semester, I've made it available to you guys so that you can learn programming in your first semester. And therefore, in the second semester, when you do it, it's like a refresher. And it's really to help you to build your web application. So in order to avoid it from clashing with your class on a Saturday, I've offered it on the evening. So on an evening, it's 6 to 8 on an evening, you have a 2-hour class. You're learning programming. So everyone who's starting level 6 in their first semester, I'm encouraging you to sit in that other class in the undergraduate programming class. There's no extra course or anything at all. The whole idea is to provide you with better support, because we learned that, look, many students, especially those who didn't come through year 1, year 2 of the program, but they enrolled directly in the final year, depending on which program you did, you may not have much programming experience. So the intent of this course is to allow you, the programming class is to help you to build your web application. So you could build your web application in your first semester if you wish as well. So in your second semester, you just have to document it if you wish. So I had to reschedule the timetable a bit to facilitate students in their first semester also being able to do the project, right? So that's why I think the undergraduate project offered on a Wednesday for the programming, okay? All right, now how will you be assessed in this course? Would it be tests? Would you get a big final exam, etc.? And the answer is there's a range of assessment, but there's no one exam at the end where if you pass it, you pass, or if you fail, you fail kind of thing. How it works is that you assess through a series of assessments. Most courses have 2 assessments, but some courses have a bit more, right? So normally you assess via coursework. Coursework is more like an assignment. So you have assignment due by the, so let's say the 8th week and assign, or the 6th to the 8th week, and another one by the 12th or 13th week or so. Sometimes you may have group work, sometimes it's individual work, right? Sometimes you may have to develop a portfolio. So for example, every 2 weeks you have to do something, and those somethings you do go towards a portfolio that you develop, and at the end maybe of the 8th week, those stuff that you did now go towards your portfolio, which you submit. Sometimes you may have to do an essay, particularly in year 1, you may have an essay in one of your subjects. You may have to do presentations in multiple subjects where you present to the university. And those presentations are really crucial, and I'll tell you why. A lot of times students are afraid to present, but the fact is when you go to an interview, you have to present yourself. When you're in a team working in an organization, you need to be able to talk and speak. And the academic program should help to prepare you for some of those. So throughout the program, you'll have to present to the university as well, where you have to talk, speak as well. And all of that is really to help to build your confidence as well. And in some cases, there'll be exams as well. Exams are, but what you'll find is that an exam might be a 20% component or 30% component typically in a unit, but very few units have assignments, exams. You may find that exams are more predominant in year 1, where a subject has like, one of the subject had like 4 different assessment components. One is an exam and the other 3 were assignments, etc. Right? So it varies, and it's a combination of these different things, and that's how you're assessed. In terms of what the assessment will focus, like year 1, it varies as well, but you may have a combination of tests as well as assignments as well. Some will be programming, some will be design, some will be networking based as well, and some might be database driven as well, where you have to design a database and normalize as well. And year 2, level 5 consists of critical analysis, including the needs for different and new solutions for existing problems. While in year 6, you tend to come up with your own solution. So you tend to come up with a creative solution to an existing problem, or you could find a problem that exists in society and come up with a solution. Now, what about passing? What's the pass mark for this course, right? So you may have multiple assignments. You don't need to pass every individual assignment. The rule is overall, once your mark is 40 or more, you pass the module. Now, what if your mark is less than 40? What happens? If your overall mark is less than 40, you'll qualify for a referral. A referral is where the university gives you a free chance. They give you another assignment to do. And if you pass that assignment, you pass the module without having to repeat the module and without having to pay again for the module, right? So that's what the referral is. It's a forgiving system sort of thing, right? Once you pass the referral, you'll pass the module. So what if you fail now? So if you, as I said, if you fail the unit, you can get a referral. But if you don't pass the referral, right, then you fail the unit and you have to pay to retake the unit. So you pay the full cost again to retake the unit. Now, what about awards? At the end of this program, what am I getting? So someone did ask me earlier on, what would I get at the end? At the end, you are getting a bachelor's degree. Your degree will have BSc, Honors Information Technology, and you can get first class honors, upper second class honors, lower second class honors, or third class honors as well, right? Now, how is your class of honors classified? Well, what they do, if you're starting from year 1 or year 2, right, then they will take 90 credits from year 2. Year 1 is not counted at all towards the degree, meaning that the marks from year 1 is not counted in terms of your class of degree. But they will take the best 90 credits, which is your best 3 subjects or your best 3 marks from year 2, and they will take your best 3 marks from year 3. But in year 3, right, the project must be included. So they must include the final year project. But what they do, the marks in your final year is double weighted, meaning that they count for twice the weight of the marks from year 2. Additionally as well, if you started directly in year 3, then they simply take your best 90 credits, but your project must be included. So your project, as well as 2 other units, they will take and then use that now to determine your overall class of degree. If your average mark is 70 or more, you'll get first class honors. If it's in the 60s, you'll get upper second. If it's in the 50s, you'll get lower second. And if it's in the 40s, you'll get third class honors. You cannot get lower than third class honors because there's no way you could pass with an average of less than 40, because 40 is the pass mark, right? Now, I talked about support earlier on, but what kind of support will students in this program get, right? Well, support is one of our key factors at the college, right? So CTS College will be providing support throughout the program. Apart from support with lecture notes and with tutorials and all of that when you have assignments, we have an induction carded for Saturday coming. So first we would have done an information session. The purpose of the information session, it's a form of support because we didn't just give you an email and tell you, well, that's it, read up about it yourself. We held an information session so that you are very clear about the program. You have all the information to make the right choice, right? The last thing I want, guys, is someone to start the program and you don't attend classes, you don't contribute to your group work, and you make the life of my other students hell, if you want to call it that. I much prefer to do without a student who's not ready to start, because if a student is not ready to start and they enroll in the program and they miss classes, etc., we spend more time calling, following up, trying to get help for you, etc., right? As opposed to a student who would come to class. But mind you, I have no problem helping. I just want you to do your best, right? So if you miss class because of work, that's understandable. But if you are just being delinquent and not coming to class, and what we found is that in the last semester as well, I've had a few students as well who have not been attending classes. You know, parents are paying for them to do the degree as well, not attending class, not submitting assignment, and we constantly calling, following up, working with parents as well to try to help also. But it really takes up a lot from us trying to support students who don't want to be supported. And I'm glad doing it because we want to ensure that we've given you all the opportunities. But if you're really not serious about it, I would suggest think twice, because at the end of it, some of the units have group work. And if you are enrolling and you don't contribute to your group, it can impact the other students. But fortunately though, what the university has done also is often the group assignments could be done individually, but they want group interaction because they want students to work as a team as well, and to be able to communicate, to take leadership role and that sort of thing, and to delegate also. So it's part of being in a team, because in the job you have to work as part of a team as well. So hence the reason. Okay. Just check to see if there are any questions there. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's a bit about it. You'll also have access to an online learning environment called Brio, right? You'll have access to a shared drive. So CTS College will make available to you a shared drive. On that shared drive, you'll have access to the lecture notes, right? The video recording of classes, our lecture slides. You would have access to, in some instances, past assignments, right? You would also have access to even textbooks and stuff we've made available to you on a shared drive. So that's CTS is arranging that part. And on the university side, you'll have access to Brio, where the university will have their lecture notes as well as their, you submit all your assignments and stuff through Brio. Good. Apart from that, any administrative stuff you need, letters, etc., just email us and we will handle all of those for you as well. Right now, everything is done online, payments, etc. But of course, the office is open, please. The office is open from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday, and 8 to 4 on a Saturday. You could go into the office and do your payments, etc. if you wish, or whatever you need, but we are more than happy to facilitate stuff online. Okay. All right. So apart from that, now we'll have an induction. So Saturday is your induction, right? So we have an induction for this Saturday coming. The induction, again, is before you start. We'll teach you about Harvard referencing. We teach you about academic writing as well. And all of these is to prepare you for undertaking your degree. This is not CXC. I want to reiterate. This is not CXC. You only have class one day for the week, but you'll be required to study on evenings as well. So don't think that the only time you do work is when you're in class. You also have to study outside of class. You have to do research as well if you want to do very good. And you'll need to know how to conduct research. You cannot just go and plagiarize, copy other people's work and put it in yours. So we need to teach you proper academic writing and referencing as well. So all of those will be covered as part of our preparation, because this is about you being fully prepared for the program that you're doing. In terms of our lecturers as well, we have lecturers who have industry experience. So they call industry leading faculty because our lecturers are working in the field, right? So for example, for programming, we have lecturers who are actually programmers on their job, right? They are well qualified. They have a minimum master's degree as well. But the fact is that they also work in the industry with lots of skills in the industry as well. So we have more practitioners who are teaching you, okay? So there's also student feedback where you have a voice, and you, whatever questions, concern you have, you can join the student council, you can ask questions as well and be part of a team as well to improve the overall experience of the students also. At the same time, I have an open door policy. My number is given to everyone. I don't hide away my phone number at all. Every one of you have my cell number, right? You can reach me anytime you need, if whatever questions you have, whatever concerns, etc. Right? You would not be, we're not into victimizing. So students often say, well, oh, I don't want to say anything because I've been victimized. That's not our policy. CTS is a learning institution. And in order to get things right, we listen to our students as well. Not everything a student wants, we're able to implement, but at the same time, we try to take on board as much of your comments as possible to improve and enhance what we do, because really this is about you guys and we are here to serve you all. So hence the reason why we have that open door policy, to really ensure that you get, we go beyond the call to meet you beyond the point of your needs as well. Okay. So in terms of resources, what resources will you need for this program? Because everyone is studying from home now or at work, wherever, you would need access to a laptop. A laptop is recommended as opposed to a phone. You could use phone to attend classes, but when you have to do your work as well, it's going to be difficult using a phone to type your essays or type up your assignment or to do coding and that sort of thing, right? So you may need to have a laptop, a desktop, or some other machine available, a tablet maybe, right? Okay. And of course, Wi-Fi will be crucial as well to undertake your studies and your research, okay? Now about graduating, where would you graduate? Well, you can graduate both in the UK and you can graduate in Trinidad. But because of COVID now, graduation has changed drastically. So there's virtual graduation, but hopefully by the time you guys are ready to graduate, things will be different, but you have the opportunity to graduate in the UK as well as in Trinidad as well, okay? Now, how do I qualify for the program? We already went through the entry requirements for each of the program, right? So for each level, we talked about the entry requirements before. So I'm not going to spend much time going through the entry requirements again, because we would have covered those in an earlier slide. So how do you apply and what do you submit? To apply, you need to complete the application form and you need to submit it with whatever evidence you have. I would need a form of ID, a national ID, right? Or your passport. Now, if you are married, or your name is different from the ID, the university uses the ID to enter you on the system. So if you're a married person, particularly from married woman whose name has changed, or if your name has changed, right, and is different from your ID, if you could provide any supporting document to substantiate the name change. Otherwise, they will enter your name as it is in your ID. So you still need to provide an ID, but if you were married, you could use your marriage certificate to support your name change, etc. Right? Now, so I need your completed application form. If you could include your resume, the reason for your resume is to help me to see, because often students leave out stuff from the form that are critical, right? So the resume may help me to see if there's anything I can do to help improve your chance of getting into the level you want, if you don't automatically satisfy the requirement, right? If you're using work experience, a job letter from your employer would be helpful. If you can't get it, don't worry, still submit your application as well. I don't need to see a salary in the job letter. We're just interested in the fact that how much years you've been working, etc. Right? If you have done any previous study, like let's say you're waiting for your results from COSTAT, Roytech, etc., you could submit your student copy of your transcript in the meantime, because you should be able to get that online from their site. Okay, so you could use that. Of course, if you have IT certifications, if you could include those as well, those will be very helpful. So anything to support your application would be helpful. Now, what happens after? So the first thing you do, you will submit your signed, completed application form and supporting documents to study@ctscollege.com. Once you've submitted it, we will collate your application, review it. Once it's finished, we've reviewed it and it has all the relevant documents, we will send it to the university for processing. Right? We will advise you that it was submitted to the university for processing. It normally takes 2 to 3 weeks, right? However, it may take less time based on, like how close we are to starting, etc. The university would review your application and send an offer letter, right? And the reply slip for you to complete. I will then email you your offer letter and advise you you've been accepted, etc. And the next thing we need to do now is to complete the form. So I would usually have like a small online session to help you to complete the forms, etc. So you submit those forms, and after you submit those forms and sign it and submit it, now you could choose to decline your offer as well. So when they accept you, in step 4, you can decide here what I don't want to accept the offer. So I submit back my response indicating I'm not willing to accept the offer. Or if you want to start, you indicate that I accept the offer and I want to start in this semester coming. And you complete the other forms. Now, if that's the case, your registration form, etc., you submit it to me, I submit it to the university, you're going to be enrolled by the university, and you're automatically now a student of the university and CTS College, right? And that's the process. Now, what about cost? How much will this program cost? So let's take a look at the costing as well. So the costing, the slide here has costing for each level. For the bridging program, there's only one unit. It's $500 to register, $2,000 for tuition, and the university fees is £150. So $500 to register, $2,000 for tuition, and £150 for the unit. However, if you're in level 4, there are 4 units. So it's $500 per semester to register. It's $2,000 per subject, and there are 4 subjects. So $2,000 by 4 for tuition, it's $8,000. And the university fees is £150 per subject by 4, so that's £600. So your total fee for level 4 is registration is $500 per semester, and it's 2 semesters. So your registration is $1,000 in total, right? $8,000 for tuition, and $6,000 for £600, which is right now the exchange rate is 9.3 or something like that, right? So this works out to roughly, well, it's less than $6,000. Do you pay all up front? And the answer is you don't need to pay all up front. You can pay per semester. So I'll guide you through that shortly. Level 5, it's $500 per semester, $2,250 per subject by 4 subjects, so it works out to $9,000 for tuition, and £600 to the university, which is $150 per subject by 4 subjects, right? Level 6 now, which is final year, again $500 per semester to register. It's $2,500 per subject by 4 subjects, which is $10,000, and it's £375 by 4, which is £1,500 in total for the final year for the university. Now, note the following. The university fees are, while the university fees goes to the university, it's paid to CTS, and I'll explain why. So what happens is that the university decide that, look, they don't want, as much as I prefer you pay them directly, they decided that, look, they don't want to invoice, let's say there are 60 students in the program, they don't want to have to deal with 60 invoices for 60 students. So instead, they basically work out your total cost and invoice me for it, CTS College, so I have to pay your fees to them. So basically, they invoice me for your fees and I pay them. So therefore, you have to pay CTS College now the pounds. So you pay us the pounds and we pay it to them. Good? So that's how it works. So it minimizes their financial effort. So they just invoice CTS, but we have to invoice each of you. And you pay us the pounds as well as the CTS fees. Now, please know the pounds are paid in pounds. And the reason for it is because if any one of you are aware, when we have to pay for all our students, sometimes in a semester, I have to pay £80,000 to the university for the BSc and for the MBA program. In order to get £80,000, the banks are not willing to give me that much. So what happens is that we may have the TT amount and tell them, okay, well, we're giving you the TT, give us pounds. They said no, because there's a shortage of foreign exchange. What the bank recommended to us then is that, look, it's easy for your students to get £600 or £1,500. But the bank is not willing to give me like £80,000. So what they did, we created a pound account at the bank, or a sterling account. You give me the pounds, we deposit it into our pound account. So because we now have a pound account with pounds in it, we can now convert that now and send it directly via transfer that to the bank. Good? So that's basically how we will be doing it. So that's how it will be done. Okay? So these are your fees. Now, as I said, you're not paying this. You could pay upfront if you wish, or you could pay per semester. So this slide, notice the difference in heading. The heading here is full cost for the level, here is per semester. So if you're in level 4, which is year 1, you're doing 2 subjects, registration is $500. You're doing 2 subjects, so it's 2,000 by 2, which is $4,000 for the first semester, and £300 to the university. Level 5, it's 500 to register, 4,500 tuition, and £300 for the university fee for the 2 subjects. And level 6, if you're doing the 2 subjects this semester, it's 500 to register, it's 5,000 for tuition, and £750 to the university. Now, is there like a payment plan available as well? And the answer is yes. You could pay upfront or you could pay monthly. So we have a monthly payment plan also. What the monthly payment plan is, the monthly payment plan simply does, you take the tuition fee per subject and you divide it by 4. So we allow you to pay the tuition over 4 months. So the registration is paid up front, you pay a £1 fee up front, and the tuition you pay it over 4 months. So you pay month 1, month 2, month 3, and month 4. So you take a total tuition fee and divide it by 4, and you pay it in 4 monthly payments. So that's how payment, the monthly payment. Now, we do have a special offer for you guys. And this special offer means you could get 250 off per subject, right? Which is up to 1,000 off per level. So how could you qualify for getting 250 off each subject or $1,000 off your tuition fee for a level? Because if there are 4 subjects, you could get up to 1,000 off, right? For the level. So here's what you need to do. In order to qualify for this then, you need to submit your completed application form by the 14th of, Monday the 14th of, I didn't put the month, September. So this should be Monday 14th of September, right? I need to get it. And why Monday 14th? It doesn't give you much time. And that's because induction is from Saturday and I need to get your application. So that's the university's closing off applications. So if I get your applications by Monday, I could still get you accepted into the semester, right? And what I will do, I will give you until the 22nd to pay your tuition and UoB fees to qualify. So you must submit your application by this date and you have until the 22nd to pay your fees, right, to qualify. But your fees must be paid in full, right? So you must pay your tuition and UoB fees for the semester in full to get the discount. If not, if you pay in part, you won't get the discount, right? So note again, I must get your application and documents by the 14th, and you have until the 22nd to pay the payment, to make the payment to get the discount, right? When does classes start? Classes start on the 26th of September, right? So classes will start on the 26th of September. Now, induction is on the 19th, classes on the 26th, okay? Now, what I want to do, we'll take questions as well, but I want to quickly go through the application form because a lot of times students see the application form and they get a bit concerned. It's not a big form at all. It's a short form. But what I want to do is I want to just share with you that application form. So I'm going to switch now to the application form. So we're going to go through the sharing of the application form so that you can get. This is an example of the application form and you realize it doesn't take much to fill. The first thing you do, you put your signature on page 1. Now, how do you get your signature? You could take a picture of your signature and paste it in there. If you are having any problems, leave the signature out, but send me a picture of your signature on WhatsApp. When you send me a picture of your signature on WhatsApp, I will insert your signature on the form. Okay? You fill out whether male or female. You include your date of birth. Nothing difficult so far. Your first name goes here, right? And your last name goes here. So first name goes here, your last name goes here, your family name is your last name. Now, if you had a previous name, like you married or you change your name, your previous surname goes in this one here. You don't worry about the passport number, that's not crucial, right? You can leave out the passport number. For your correspondence address, you can put your address here in one line in this one here. Note you can't enter the address in the first line, it doesn't, because if you're filling out the form, but in the second line, you put your address. Good? If your correspondence address and your home address are the same, you don't need to put it 2 places, you just leave it under correspondence address. You can leave out postcode. This is your home number if you have, or your alternative number. And this is your cell number, your mobile number. Good? This is your email address. You don't need to put your Skype ID. Do you have any criminal offense or conviction? Yes or no, you could type in here. So I use the text tool to type in X under this here, right? Next, for this here, your country of birth for most of you, Trinidad or Trinidad and Tobago, whichever you feel more comfortable about. If you want to put Trinidad and Tobago or Trinidad, your choice. Your nationality, Trinbagonian, Trinidad and Tobagonian, or Trinidadian, whichever you want, or Tobagonian as the case may be. The country of domicile is where you're living. So if you're living in Trinidad right now, you put Trinidad, all right? For these, you can just put no for all of them, right? So don't have to worry, put no for all of them. How will you pay for the course? It's self-funded, right? You're paying for yourself or your parents paying. That's considered as self-funding. Next, the form you have should include my information here already. If not, you can leave it out. I will fill that in if you want. Now, here's where you need to put in now. The program is BSc Information Technology. The level is undergraduate. Now, here's where you put in whether you're doing year 1, year 2, or year 3. So if right, or bridging, where you want to start. So if you want to start bridging, you put bridging here. If you want to start year 1, you put year 1 / level 4. If you want to start year 2, you put year 2 level 5 or year 3 level 6. You put the appropriate year here if you wish. Good. And when you want to start, well, the intake is September 2020, or if you put October, all of that is fine. Good. Any problems so far? Now, if you want to start at a higher level, you must include it in this section here. If you don't, it automatically will be assessed as year 1, right? So if you want to start at year 2 or year 3, you must include those here. All right, next, how do you enter your qualifications here? This part is crucial. This is where they look at your previous qualification. Now, if you did CXC, don't need to put each subject on a separate line. So if you did, let's say secondary, I'll put secondary here. The year you started, let's say 2011 to 2016 you started. So you finish in 2016, you just put the awarding body is CXC. Not your school, no, your school is not the awarding body. CXC is the awarding body. And you could put how many passes, like 6 passes. You don't need to list the subjects, right? If you did CAPE, you could do it like similarly, secondary, 2016 to 2018, you did CAPE. The awarding body is CXC, and you could put how many CAPE passes if you had CAPE. What if you did a certification course? If you did a certification course, the program of study is IT, right? It's the year you start, the year you finish, etc. Right? The awarding body might be CompTIA and the qualification is A+, right? Etc. So same here as well. If you did, let's say you did a UTT associate degree, a 1 line needed here, your IT 2017 to 2019, right? The awarding body is UTT, you did a diploma in XYZ, whatever it might be. Now, what if you didn't finish the program? If you didn't finish, you'll have no date for the award, but you'll put incomplete next date if you wish, right? Okay. So if you did IT, COSTAT associate degree, this is an example of an associate degree at COSTAT. So you're waiting result, there's nothing here. So COSTAT is the awarding body, and you have an associate degree in Operation Systems Management. Okay, so that's for that. Next, here is if you did English language, you can put CSEC English, what grade you get, what year you did it, etc. If you wish, right? For your work experience, your job title here, the name of the company, the month and year started, and if you're currently employed. So this person is currently employed as an IT technician at company XYZ, started in April 24, 2019, currently employed full-time. Previously worked as a clerk in company A, right? From this period here to this period. Now, if you are using IT work experience to get in, you should put all your IT experience first, right? Make them more prominent in here. Good. So all your IT experience, you'll focus on listing. The rest of the course, that's it really, because do you have any physical disability, yes or no? How did you hear about us? You could choose agent being CTS, or if you want to use search engine, etc. For your references, right? You don't have to submit any letter from them. You just need to put their name, like Mary Jane, and a phone number or email address. Mary Jane, phone number, email address, that should be sufficient. If you don't have both, you just put whatever you have. You don't necessarily need to put the other information. All right, so Clark Kent is another person who's referenced. This is a phone number, email address, right? Based on what you have, and then you sign at the bottom. Again, you can put a picture of your signature. And that's it for the application form. So the application form shouldn't take much time or effort to complete. If you need me to help you with it, I'll give you my number as well, right? When I send you the email, it will have my cell number also at the bottom on the signature part of the email. It has my number, right? So feel free to liaise with me, and I can help you to fill out the form once you send me all the relevant information, right? I can help you to fill it out also. Good, but I need to get the supporting evidence. So if you can send a picture of your ID or passport as well. If you're married and your name has changed and it's not on the ID or passport, if you could send anything to support the name change. If not, the name on your passport or ID is what will be used. And also if you could send me any certifications you may have along with your resume, those will be helpful. Good. So that's the completion of the application form. What we're going to do now is take any questions you guys may have as well, right? At the same time, on the chat, I'm putting on the chat there is a link that I would really like you to fill out as well for me, please. This is a link indicating how you found out about CTS College. So if you could kindly use this link, it only takes about a minute to fill out, please. I'm putting this on the link. And if you could private message me your email address, please, so that I'll be sure to your name and email address to ensure that you get a copy of the slide recording as well, right? At the end of the session. It will take a couple hours to upload, but because I have to upload it to YouTube. But if you could kindly ensure that you've messaged me your name and your email address, please. If you want to include your phone number as well, that's fine. So I could call you too. It's not a problem. That will be appreciated, right? So if you could include that as well. Any question before we close off, guys?
Hello?
Yes, hi.
Yeah, the question is, what if you don't have any experience in IT whatsoever, like you never work in the field or you don't have the IT subject? What level you have to start at the bridging program then?
No, not
You have to
necessarily.
start.
You said you don't work or never work. I'm not talking about IT now. I'm talking about work in general. Did the person ever work at all?
Yeah, like if you don't have no experience in the work or like you're now starting to go into the IT now.
Right. So what I'm getting at, in order to start, you could start at level 4 if you have any work experience. It doesn't have to be IT. So let's say you work as a clerk, you work as a laborer, you could start level 4. Once you have 3 years of work experience, it doesn't matter whether you're a gas station attendant, whether you're janitorial services, whether you're administrative, you don't need IT experience to in order to start. You could start at level 4. The bridging program is really for persons who are straight from CSEC, who just wrote CSEC, have no results at all or anything, or who only wrote CSEC and they haven't worked. That's for bridging program. However, if you are mature and you have work, it doesn't matter whether it's IT or if it's not IT. If you have no IT work experience, you could start at level 4. But the fact is, if you must have some work experience ideally, right? Assuming that you did CSEC and you have work experience, once you have 2 or 3 years work experience, you could start at level 4.
Well, I'm working since I'm 18, so I have over 10 years work experience, but not in the IT field.
I keep reiterating, you don't need IT to start at level 4. You could start at level 4 once you have any work experience. Right?
But could you give me an average course, because I see in the thing and I still fully understand the course of
Go back. So certainly
level 4.
I would gladly do that, right?
It's a bit confusing. It's how you say per semester and all the
No problem. So I'm going back to the presentation and I'm going back to the slide with the cost as well, with the fees, right? And I'm going to do the per semester fee, right? So you'll see what you're paying each semester. Is that all right?
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So when you're starting, right? So let's suppose you will, because of your work experience, you could start at level 4. Of course, if you prefer to study bridging program, you can, right? But you could start at level 4 because you've worked for 10 years, right? So you could start here. So if in level 4, there are 4 subjects, but how many subjects will you be doing in the first semester? 2 subjects, right? So you're doing 2 subjects. So your fees will be $500 to register. The 2 subjects.
Like per semester or just one?
Look at the top here. It says per semester, right? So this fee is for this semester. So let's suppose you're starting from September and you're going until the semester is September to January, right? So for this semester, you pay $500 to register. Then your tuition fee is $4,000 for tuition. And the university fees is £150 per subject, and you're doing 2 subjects this semester.
So what is the total cost of that per semester then?
Right. So 500 to register plus 4,000. So that's 4,500. And then you add £300. So £300, if I use 10 to 1, which is the higher end of the exchange rate, that's roughly 3,000, right? So that will be 3,000 here, plus this is 4,500. So that works out to 7,500. Of course, if you pay this by the 22nd, right, you'll get, for the 2 subjects, you'll get $500 off. So it works out to roughly $7,000. Now, if you don't, let's say you cannot pay the fees up front, like all of that up front, then you pay the registration, you pay the university fees, and each month it's 4,000 is the fee for the semester. If I divide this by 4, right, it's 1,000, right? So if I divide 4,000 by 4, that's 1,000. You pay 1,000 each month for 4 months. So it means you pay 1,000 in September, 1,000 October, 1,000 November, 1,000 in December towards the tuition. If you'd like as well, I could meet with you right after, and I could sit and I could do it, work it out for you, break it down month by month by month, how much it will be, right? Is that
Okay,
all
no
right?
problem.
I can do that for you right after as
So
well.
for the whole entire year, this course, how much semesters it have in year? 3 semesters?
No, there are 2 semesters per year. Remember, we said we are doing, each level can be done in 2 semesters. In one semester, you do 2 subjects, and in the other semester, you do 2 subjects, right? So that's your 4 subjects, and
So
completing.
you know, it could cost around 14,000-15,000 then
Yes,
for
so
the 2 semesters.
2 semesters will be around 15,000, and year 3 will be $1,000 more, which is 16,000, right? Okay.
Okay,
So
no problem.
that's how it will work out. So very good. Are there any other questions as well?
No, thanks.
No problem. Anyone
So
else?
after year 3, that's where you get your bachelor's.
Yes. So you'll get your bachelor's degree on completion of the final year, right? So you must complete the final year to get your degree.
Okay.
Okay.
No problem. Guys, and while we're taking question, please don't forget to fill out the link, please. It's very important for us to find out where you heard about us, how you heard about us, whether it's radio, television, etc., which station, right? And we have, it's just a list to select. If you could kindly click on that link for me, please, and fill it out. And don't forget, I need your name, your phone number, and your email address, please, so I can ensure that I have your detail as well to reach out to you also. Good? And to send you the slides as well.
Sure.
Other question?
Yes, October, if you decide to start October month, will you still qualify for the reduction in the fee?
Right. Okay, so the semester starts the 26th of September. So you cannot just join in the middle of the semester. You have to be approved. You must fill out the application, get accepted by the university, and then confirm your acceptance before you're allowed to start. So although the semester is called October, it's really starting on the 26th of September, right?
Okay.
Good.
Yes, and the referrals, what are the referrals for?
All right. So when you do a subject, right? So let's suppose you did your first subject and you did not pass it. What the university does, they will give you a referral assignment to do. What a referral assignment is that another assignment in the same subject area. And if you pass that assignment, then you pass the module. However, if you fail the assignment, you'll have to repeat the module and pay the university to repeat the module as well. So the referral is basically for anyone who has failed a unit, they will get a referral. And the referral is another assignment that you get to do, but it's not repeating the module. It's simply that they give you like a makeup exam, right? And if you pass that makeup exam, then you pass the unit. That's what it's about. You follow, though, Cassandra?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So the only people who do the referral are those who would have failed the module. But remember, 40 is the pass mark, right? Now I want to share with you guys the pass mark. The pass rate has been really incredible since we started this program with Bedfordshire in February of this year. And so far the results has been phenomenal. And only in one level, I had 3 students who did not submit any assignment, and the 3 who didn't submit any assignment, they got referrals. But everybody else in the program, level 4, level 5, level 6, and bridging passed, except for those 3 students, right? Because they didn't submit anything.
Okay. So all I have to do is complete the form before the Monday is the deadline. Complete the form and submit it.
Yes, please, right? With the relevant document, because remember, I need an ID as well, and I need some other information too. Like if you like include your resume and any other qualification you may have, that will be helpful. If you don't have any, don't worry, right? But send the resume at least so that I can review and I can call you as well. Make sure your updated phone number is on it so that I can reach you to go through any additional stuff as well, right?
Okay.
All right. Okay. Feel free to ask any other questions as well.
Oh, well, you did say that you all have help with regards to getting loan to help pay for the fee.
The GMMB, right? So we can provide you, once all you need to do is just indicate that, look, I need to get the details at GMMB, and we'll send you an email with the details so that you can start the process with GMMB.
Okay.
Hi, morning. A quick question. I know you said you have 5 students who are awaiting their CXC results, but they are already doing the bridging program. So is there an intake period for the bridging program, or you can start that at any time?
No, it's same as this. The semester for the bridging is just like this. So what I said is there are 5 students who are waiting results for CXC. They applied and they got accepted for the bridging program. So they will be starting the bridging program the same time with you guys on September 26th.
In September. Okay. Thank you.
Welcome. All right. Well, guys, if there are no further questions, I'm going to put my number. My number is, I'll call it out for you, 777-1294. My name is Ravi Raghunath. My number is 777-1294. Feel free to save it and reach out to me at any time at all, just to clarify, right? You could identify yourself if you're messaging me. You could message me on WhatsApp. You could call me WhatsApp. It doesn't matter what time, etc. I'm more than happy to assist. Okay?
Sure.
Have a blessed day, everyone. Please again reiterate, kindly follow the information on the link, as well as include your name, phone number, and email address, right? Private message me that information so I could be sure that each of you would get the slides. You should get it by 2 o'clock or so. Good?
Yes.
Have a blessed day, everyone.
Okay.
And enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Okay.
Thank you, Ravi.
You're most welcome. Bye.
Bye.